Hey there, cats and kitties. I am the Blues Man, Johnny Blues, and this video is meant to be a sort of follow-up to a video I uploaded recently talking about a Doctor Who companion that never was, that I thought would have really made a great companion. That was Richard Mace from the story The Visitation. And in this video, I'm going to mention another that I thought would have been a fun companion, somebody who was a background character in a story that I just thought was lively and fun and would have been interesting as a dynamic traveling with the Doctor through time on several other adventures. So for this particular time, I want to talk about City of Death, one of my favorite all-time Doctor Who stories. I hear it's a lot of people's favorites. Tom Baker as the Fourth Doctor, Lalla Ward as Romana Mark II, basically are in Paris. It's kind of got a romantic comedy adventure vibe to it. You have the Count Scarlione as played by Julian Glover, who is actually Scaroth the Jaggeroth, the last of the Jaggeroth, I might add, who is basically up to no good with stolen and duplicated Mona Lisas and millions of pounds, and a scientist who's basically at his beck and call, trying to work on time travel manipulation stuff. And it's all because he needs to save his race. But the cost of saving his race means the entire history of the Earth is going to be wiped out. And of course, the Doctor and Romana have to do something about it. Now, along the way, they have this character who crops up called Duggan. And he is a character I would have thought would have made a fun companion, because this guy thinks with his fists. I mean, he punches, and then he doesn't even stick around to ask questions. He just hightails it. Many a time, I mean, he is responsible for almost breaking the Doctor's sonic screwdriver, slamming it, trying to break out of a room they get trapped in or locked in, whatever you want to say. He also has this very peculiar mispronunciation thing with the word furor, which is furore as far as he's concerned, and cafe, which is calf as far as he's concerned. But he's just a funny foil for the Doctor, because it's hilarious seeing the Doctor get up in arms about how this guy literally has to punch everything. He punches through a wall of rock, which uncovers the duplicated Mona Lisas. He basically knocks out the scientist. He's knocking out thugs, he's, everything. He puts his fists first with every move that he makes. And I just thought he would have been an interesting male equivalent almost to a Leela-esque character, where he kind of had to learn to tone it down and learn to be a little more domesticated, if you will. Not to say, any domestication in Doctor Who is necessarily a good thing, as we ran into some problems with that in the modern series with Rose and her family, but I actually did think it was mostly compelling stuff. There were still people who, said that wasn't a part of Doctor Who in its history and stuff, whatever like that. But I just think Duggan would have made a really fun and interesting character. Now, as a footnote, City of Death was co-written by Douglas Adams, who, if anyone knows me, I love the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy stories, as well as now Dirk Gently. And, that was his influence, making this a light and bubbly, adventurous story. Duggan, I think, was probably a product of his work. And, it also features City of Death, that is, one of the greatest incidental music tracks all throughout, soundtracks, really, for any classic Doctor Who story. I mean, it was, symphonic in a lot of ways, and just really ramped up that vibe of Paris in the 70s, a romantic sort of playground. And then there was that whole, timey-wimey alien affair going on. And then you have Duggan to come in as sort of the abrasive fisticuffs in the middle of it all. So I definitely highly recommend you check out City of Death. And I'd love to hear from you guys if you have any ideas for companions that never were, that you would have loved to have seen, whether an actor that had never been portrayed, like Charlie Chaplin in Doctor Who, or a character that we saw in a story. So, yeah, I plan to do a couple more of these, depending on what kind of reaction I get. And I hope you're all doing well. So I'll catch you later. Peace.